and welcome to the Cardinals Sports Complex for CTN's live coverage of girls high school lacrosse. It's a Northwest Suburban Conference showdown as the Cardinals welcome the Elk River Elks. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above the action, and this Elk River Zimmerman squad is going to be a great challenge. They are 5-2. They have won 5 straight since losing their first 2 games of the season, and over the last 4, they have outscored the opponents 74-9.
Yeah,
in the last 4 games.
It's crazy. I mean, you look at the games here. It's a 20-1 win over Blaine, 19-3 over Spring Lake Park, 21-1 over Rogers, and 14-4 in their recent victory over St. Michael Albertville.
Yeah, they are definitely getting the job done for Coon Rapids. 2-5 on the season, and this is a team that has a couple of very strong scorers,
Yep.
But their lack of depth makes it very difficult to be really competitive in this ultra-competitive Northwest Suburban Conference.
Well, and the thing for them, too, is, and it's a tall task indeed, is to try and limit the offense here from the Elks, and I think that's their hope for a lower scoring contest, and that's hopefully what they can accomplish here. Strong defense if they can, and limit what the Elks want to do on the other end.
Well, based on the hub scoring, the top 2 Cardinal scorers have more goals than anyone on Elk River.
Right.
However, Elk River Zimmerman has 6-7 girls that have 8-9 goals this season, where Coon Rapids has Kennedy Bolander with 19 goals and Anna Kepke with 18.
Yep.
After that, it's Lily Gilliard with just 2.
Yeah, so I mean you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with at least 8 goals or more for Elk River.
And they are going to get possession early after Coon Rapids won the draw. They're able to get a steal and get in close. That one swept just wide by Kotzian. Scooped up along the end line by Isabella Doles. And they will reset the offense behind the net. Pass out front is shot low for the goal by Anika Wozni. And just like that, just over a minute in, Elk River Zimmerman is on the board.
Wozni, the second leading scorer for this club, with now 14 goals on the season. As you mentioned, it didn't take him very long to find the back of the net. Just a nice pass out front.
Yeah, Kotzian leads the team with 17 goals, and Wozni now 14 on the season. Talked about after that, though, they've got 3 other girls who have 10 or more points, 3 others that have scored 8 or more goals. Gives them a lot more weapons to bring. Kosniak gets in close, shut down by Marnholz. And Coon Rapids cannot survive letting Adria Kotzian get in and get a lot of looks like that. But Marnholz comes up with a huge save early on.
However, the Elks get the possession back.
Well, and that has been, in the couple of games that we've done, a good look in close. Morgan Peterson bounces it home, and it's a 2-0 lead.
That's her 10th goal this season. And again, a quick 2-0 lead for the Elks.
Good pass from Suckup, and really no chance for Marnholz with a scorer right on the doorstep. Just outside of that goalie circle. I was going to say we've done a couple of
there's red.
games for the girls so far. This is our third. And just in the games I've watched, they are not very strong at taking away possession in their defensive end. And that is key to breaking the momentum of the other team.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you have to be able to play well in that aspect of your game, and especially against a team like Elk River is going to put the ball in the back of the net quite often.
Katie Wozni runs in on the attack, shoots low and scores. So both Woznies on the board early on, a 3-0 lead for the Elk River Elks. Annika Wozni scored the first. This one is Katie Wozni. For Katie, it's her 5th of the season. Yep. Long run, good individual effort, and a very quick 3-0 lead. And because the Cardinals have not been very good at breaking up and taking away possession in the defensive end, the faceoffs become even that much more important. Kotzian backs away. Stick infraction.
Oh. It's going to be a tough situation here for Coon Rapids.
Free position for Isabella Doles. From the top of the arc, takes one shot, bounces it wide, scooped up by Bolander, and Bolander will use her speed to try and get to the other end. Kennedy will be going on to play lacrosse next year at Concordia. Had it stripped away by Doles. And again, the Elks just quickly get it back to the other end. That pass didn't click, got away from Morgan Peterson. Addie Suckup with it up top. Passes inside, turning and shooting. A stop by Marnholz, but it bounced off of her stick and into the net. The goal for Emily Brummer.
Yeah, good effort there. She's able to stay with that, but the initial stop by Marnholz, but she couldn't get it from finding the line, getting over the line.
Oh, it went off her stick, off her head, and then just across the line. Suck up a couple of early assists. And as I mentioned, when Katsian was stopped in close, you can't give her those great looks, but the Elks clearly getting the ball into the hole and getting attackers in there, and easier said than done, definitely, but the Cardinals have to deny access to the hole, and here comes Katsian again. She shoots just wide on the far side.
Oh, she had a wide open net. She just pushed that one wide, and I'm sure she'd like to have it back because that was a great opportunity for a goal there.
Katsian waiting, looking for a hole, finds it, shoots and scores, and it's 5-0 less than 5 minutes in.
That's her 18th. She is the leading scorer for this club.
Doing a nice job to find her way around Joage. Just using the quickness to find a lane and skipping it past Marnholz, and Marnholz feeling as if she is under siege early on.
And she is.
I mean, goalies typically want to get some shots on them early on to get the feel of it, but maybe not quite that many that quickly. Yeah, a little too much body there by Lila Gilliard will draw the whistle, and then free position upcoming for Madeline Christian. From the top of the fan, her shot bounced, saved by Marnholz, recovered by the Elks momentarily. Bolander lost it a couple of times, whistle blows. Stick infraction against Elk River. Zimmerman will give the possession to Coon Rapids. And again, Bolander using her speed to work downfield, pressured by Ashley Hess along the far sideline. And Coon Rapids finally an opportunity to try and set things up in the offensive end.
Yeah, they haven't been able to do that at all so far, and they're going to lose possession, or at least appears to be.
Pass didn't click, and finally possession regained by Elk River. They play it back to their keeper, and Pluty plays it out the far side. And a short possession without a shot. Elk River right back on the attack. Katzian wanted to pass out front. Instead, will cut back, find her way in, and score her second of the game. Oh, they're going to wave it off, said that she got inside the circle before she scored. So it'll be Coon Rapids ball. Long clear from Marnholz, didn't click, and right back the other way come the Elks.
Yeah, they just the Cardinals just cannot maintain any kind of possession of the ball.
Flayhaven passes up top to Madeline Christian. She'll hand it off to Doles. Doles gets a pick, finds a way inside, shoots and scores. But the whistle blew. Yeah. This one's going to get waved off as well, despite it being a Coon Rapids infraction. So free position from the top of the fan. Doles working her way to her right. Passes out front, a shot and a goal for Madison Kucera.
Yeah, that was an easy one again. Just did a nice job of finding Kucera too out in front, and there wasn't a defender on her. That's her third goal this season.
And again, getting players into the hole unmarked, and then getting them good passes. And pass
that's the thing.
From Doles was nice and soft, easily handled by Kucera, and Kucera could just turn and score.
Cardinals calling a timeout. Probably a well-deserved timeout. They need it. Down 6-0.
Just over 7 minutes into the game. And they knew, again, coming in, that this Elk River Zimmerman team would be very tough to compete with. But I don't know that they expected to be down this big this early.
No, I guarantee you that. I mean, you're talking, look how much time's left in the first half. It's 17, just a little under 18 minutes in the first half, and it's already 6-0 Elk River Zimmerman.
Well, and a team that hasn't had a lot of success, but they haven't really had a lot of games where they've been blown out.
No.
They've had a couple of 10-goal losses. Unfortunately, both of the contests that have been on CTN. And in the last couple of games, they're coming off a 10-9 win over Anoka. But this is a Coon Rapids squad that has only gotten into double digits in 2 of their first 7 games. And they'll be hard-pressed to keep Elk River from getting to double digits before the half.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this rate. They're on pace at this point to score about 36 goals.
Well, I mean, they've scored 20 certainly more than once on the season.
Yeah, and it's a team that has just gotten ultra hot. I mean, you talked about those last four games when they've really blown out opponents. But if you look at the first two losses, they lost to Andover 4-2 and Centennial 7-4, so 7-5. Only 2-goal losses in both of those losses, and then they beat Maple Grove 8-6. So those first three games, they went 2 goals, 5 goals, 8 goals, then 20, then 19, then 21 and 14.
Yeah,
and they're on pace to score big numbers here tonight again. So a team in Elk River Zimmerman that has just gotten stronger and stronger as this season has gone on. And those first couple of games, too, against some very good teams, Centennial and Maple Grove, typically are top contenders in the conference. Kepke back at the other end, shoots wide, but trying to score in transition. They had nobody in position behind the net, and Elk River able to win the race to the end line and get the possession right back for the Elks. Washburn at least disrupted things, didn't make it easy for him to get this one out. The netminder Pluty trying to get it ahead and finally does. Lily Perrin on the run will get it into the front end and set up on the attack. Oh, and again, that was Holte, I think, who was in the hole, and you see was unguarded, just couldn't hold it. And there's Hess out front.
Yep.
A one-touch, and again, player in the hole, wide open. Ashley Hess gets it and quickly turns it in for a goal, her 5th of the season.
Yeah, and just a good job, but not a great job of defense by the Cardinals as they were able to let her all alone in front of the net. I mean, look, there's not one white jersey other than your goalkeeper around her, and she made that one look easy.
Hess, the goaltender for the girls hockey team, an all-conference goaltender, and get this, her mother, and I grew up together. How you like them apples?
I didn't know you grew up.
Well,
you went to school together as youngsters.
We were young together, in Southwest Minneapolis. How's that?
Because if
I have not grown up, you are correct about that.
I definitely have known you long enough to know that. Because
well, at
neither
that point,
have I.
No, when Jenny and I were,
friendly, friends,
young, I was growing up at that point.
Mentally?
Well,
I suppose you have to a little bit.
For the first part, I mean, I've known her since
until you met me.
I've known her since grade school.
That's
so
true.
At some point,
yes,
my maturity level stopped at about 5th or 6th grade, but I've known her since before then. So. Technically, yes, we did grow up together.
Okay. We're splitting hairs.
But you are correct. I have not grown up.
And
I refuse.
I'm glad.
I refuse.
I refuse as well.
What fun would that be?
Oh, it would be no fun.
Well, here's Coon Rapids, an opportunity to get set up on the offensive end. Delfrat behind the net. Play it over for Wigan. And they're being patient, and I think that's good. I mean, even down 7-0.
Can't panic.
You have to take advantage of your opportunities when they are as few as they will be with how strong the Elks have come out. Gianna Isaacs with it, and it just so important to find their teammates, have good positioning behind, so if they don't click, they're able to retain possession. But there's a good steal down low for Isabella Doles, and Elk River right back on the end of the attacking end.
They pass really well.
They do, and Kazian trying to work her way in front. Instead passes it off. That doesn't click, taken away by Brooke Griffith. And then a stick infraction, and we'll get a free position for Coon Rapids. Scooped up by Kennedy Bolander, and Bolander just going to try and run around all the defense. She does, and she scores and gets Coon Rapids on the board.
Well, the Cardinals needed that. They needed something, some sort of spark, and Bolander, as you can see, using her speed, and she's got a lot of it. She's able to get past, run past that defense, get the nice shot, and put it in the back of the net. I mean, she's just going to run right by Elk River.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. She is definitely a good player. You know, Coon Rapids has those 2 stars at the top, but we've already seen Elk River spreading it out.
Yep.
They have 7 goals from 7 different players.
It's impressive.
Coon Rapids only has 6 players who have scored this season. That's a major difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, off a face-off win, they get right back on the attack. Anna Kepke, the other big scorer, she's got a good look, but Pluty comes up with the save. And again, they're going to work it to Katsian down that right wing. And a lot of movement for Elk River on offense. You're going to see a number of different pieces. That's what has confused the Cardinals early on. A little give and go. The shot low for a goal by Morgan Peterson.
What was interesting,
she gets her second.
There was only 2 Elk River players down in the offensive end. The rest of the team kind of just spread out and moved back.
I was just about to say something about they went out. It's kind of an isolation defense, right? They drew the rest of the defense away. Little give and go between Katsian and Peterson. Peterson gets her second of the evening, and it's an 8-1 lead. And again, a face-off win, right back on the attack. And actually, what I was going to say is they move so many pieces at the same time that has really made it difficult for the Cardinal defense to keep track of all the attackers for Elk River. That's why they've been able to slip one into that hole and get them all alone.
Yep, absolutely.
On that last goal, 4 attackers
just went
out and were almost in a huddle.
They were in a huddle.
A ways away, and that drew all the defense away. And then they ran the little give and go inside to get the goal. Katsian denied in close by Marnholz. But good numbers down low. Kicked free, but Cardinals unable to scoop. Stick infraction will award them the ball on the free position. And then a good steal by Peterson turns it right back for Elk River Zimmerman. But yeah, they'll put a couple of different slashers going through the front at the same time, making it really tough to stay on the marks. And there you saw again, they ran a couple of slashers opposite directions. That opened up the hole as the defenders were following and switching. And then they snuck Peterson in. But fortunately for Coon Rapids, the pass didn't click, and they were able to get the clear. But Coon Rapids gets down momentarily, only to see Elk River regain possession and get it back to their offensive end.
It's kind of been their MO, just move the ball around and then find that one player in front of the net alone. And they've been doing a good job of that, just confusing what Coon Rapids wants to do defensively.
Kazian will hand off up top for Wozni. Wozni out front, kind of handcuffed Brummer on the pass, and that leads to a turnover to Marnholz. Flips it behind for Lila Gilliard. Gilliard having trouble trying to scoop. Numbers come for Elk River, but Gilliard had it momentarily, and stick infraction will give her the free position.
And Cardinals just really having just trouble doing what they want to do and trying to set up anything down in that end.
Kotzian scooped it up, gets it ahead. Peterson knocked down from behind. Draws the whistle. Maddie Christian down low. Kotzian looking out front. No one available. Resets behind, and then she got out front, but the pass too high. Recovered by Suckup. Suckup out front, and a quick shot for Annika Wozni. She gets her second of the game.
Yeah, and again, just the nice feed into the middle, and she's just cutting to the net, and they find her, and she scores on the easy goal. 9-1 now. Elk River Zimmerman. Yeah, just a quick little one-timer.
And at least the third assist for Addie Sukup. And it is all Elk River, 9:16 to go first half. Elks out to a big 9-1 lead. Pretty much scoring at will.
They certainly have.
Loose off the draw. Elks bring the numbers and win the ball. Christian runs around the left side, cuts out front, backhand up corner. Makes it 10-1.
Yeah, again, just a little flip in front, nobody there. And she pushes it home.
Yeah, speed kills.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't
Good
really
stick skills too. Goes to her backhand and flips it up over the shoulder of Marnholz. Ten goals in 16 minutes.
It's pretty good.
Infraction whistled against Elk River. Coon Rapids getting possession, and a Kepke trying to run away from a pack of red jerseys. Gets it ahead to Griffith. Griffith will look for a lane. And again, that's all of your opponents know you've got two girls who do 95% of your scoring.
Absolutely. You bottle them both up.
Makes it a little more difficult for those two to find room.
Agree.
And the Elks, you have to be impressed with how quickly they've started and how well they have spread it out. 10 goals, I think 8 different goal scorers. And they're clearly just getting started. A drive all the way in for the goal by Isabella Doles.
Again,
and yet another goal scorer.
It made it look so easy, and really nobody gave her any opportunity to not streak to the goal. She's going to run through the defense, and then the quick bounce into the net. It's now 11-1.
Yeah, you got Wozni, Annika Wozni, and Morgan Peterson each have 2 goals. They're the only 2 that have multiple goals. So 11 goals, 9 goal scorers. And still plenty of time in this first half. Wozni working her way through a pass in close, and again, this time it was Kyla Holte wide open in the hole. Fortunately for Coon Rapids, she was not able to handle the pass. Got it to Kusera cutting through, but not able to get a shot off. They back it out to Lily Osterman. Osterman looks for room on the right side, plays it back. Marnholz's got a piece of it, but Doles slips it past, and she's got 2.
Yeah, the balanced scoring on this club is phenomenal. That makes it 12-1 now in favor of Elk River Zimmerman.
And the passing has been impressive. I mean, that's key in order to get this many.
Oh, yeah.
Get that depth. You have to have a number of girls who can both pass and receive, and they have done it all so well.
Yes, they have.
Able to win off another draw. Doles right back at it. Trying to sprint past Bolander. Bolander able to knock it free. Loose ball scooped up by Kusera. Back up top for Annika Wozni. The Elks have no reason to be in any type of hurry.
Oh, absolutely not. They can just continue to move it around. Let's just continue to set their offense.
Yeah, one of the most impressive performances of control that I have seen. Whistle away from the action. A really good move, dipping and ducking by Lily Osterman, but her shot was stopped by Marnholz. She will get the free position. Osterman will race in, and she'll score off the free position to make it 13-1.
Yeah, made that one again look easy. Just a quick little rush to the net with the score.
So 13 goals, 10 different goal scorers in this first half.
That's impressive.
So far, a clinic being put on by Elk River Zimmerman. And if, not to praise them too highly, but if you want to know how to make a team a winner, this is it.
Absolutely. You have to be really impressed with them.
Wozni will set up behind the net. Getting out front was Holte, but drew a lot of defense. And the Cardinals able to force the turnover. Lila Gilliard using her speed down the right side. Get into the offensive end. And now we'll hand it off for Wigan. Wigan will take it in behind. Pass didn't click, and a great little poke there by Claire Flayhaven. just poked it along, got it past the defender or attacker, and then scooped it up. That pass didn't click, but it's not going to make it out of bounds either. Scooped up along the sidelines by Forer. And Elk River back into the attacking end.
Approaching 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half.
Katzian shoots low. And that one slips in past Marnholz. Second of the game for Adria Katzian.
Yeah, they're just toying with the Cardinals at this point.
Yeah, talked about it. Katzian had 17 goals coming in. 26 points. She has added a couple of goals tonight. A 14-1 lead, just under 2 minutes to go in this first half. And off the draw, they run right back in. That shot bounces up and over for Lily Osterman. Elks have it along the back line. Peterson would get it back up for Christian. Christian can't find a way in. Take it behind. And circle the wagons. Hand it off for Katzian up top. Into the middle. Chance in close. Marnholz comes up with a huge stop on Sokup.
Yeah,
Recovered down low by the Elks again.
Cardinals just cannot gain any kind of possession at all.
Backhander for Osterman, kicked away by Marnholz. Ends up out of bounds on the far side. Ball goes to the Cardinals. Washburn's pass did get through, but red jerseys swarming to the ball. Force the turnover. Don't let the Cardinals out of the defensive end. Katzian able to come up with it. Katzian up top. Will run down the left side. Can't find a lane in. Katzian bouncing a pass into the middle. The buzzer will sound, though, indicating the end of the first half. It was all Elk River. Elks scoring at will, build a 14-1 lead, 10 different goal scorers, and they are in complete control. We'll take a break, be back with the second half after this. You're watching Girls Lacrosse live on CTN. Back at the Cardinals Sports Complex, Elk River flexing their muscles in the first half. They wasted no time. They scored just over a minute in, and within the first 5 minutes, they had scored 5 times. They were up 7-0 before Coon Rapids got its one goal of the first half, a long end-to-end run by their leading scorer, Kennedy Bolander. Bolander definitely a quality player. She will be playing college lacrosse next season, but a tough road to hoe when you look at a team this deep that is on such a tear, as we talked about. 5 straight wins after losing their first 2 of the year. In their last 4, they have outscored opponents 74-9.
It's incredible.
They have 10 different girls who have scored in the first half.
You talked about flexing their muscle, and that might be an understatement. I mean, they've dominated this that first half, and I don't see a let up at this point for Elk River Zimmerman. I mean, they just do what they want to do offensively. They're so good, and you know the Cardinals just can't get going anything other than Bolander's goal, anything offensively, and give credit to the Elk River Zimmerman team for that.
So I did take the halftime an opportunity to go talk to Ashley S.'s mom, Jenny.
Yep.
Say hello. I haven't seen each other for 30 years, but talk to her about having a goaltender. Something we're also have in common, and I asked her. I said she didn't want to play goalie for lacrosse. She said no. She said specifically she did not want to play goalie for lacrosse, and said that she and Brianne, the goalie here for lacrosse, have been friends for forever, and she's more than happy, Ashley, to play out front and let Brianne have the nets for goalie or for lacrosse. Jenny does have a younger daughter who is goaltender for soccer, so
it runs in their family.
Yeah, well, the oddity of goaltenders is contagious. There's no doubt.
Must be something in that water at Southwest High School.
That could be too. Ashley Hess also was a catcher for softball at a younger age. Of course, my Aaron is a hockey goaltender, or a former hockey goaltender, and a baseball catcher. Cardinals trying to get some possession time early on in this second half. Would love to trim into that lead a little bit. At least make it a little more respectable.
Agreed.
Good pressure there from Bolander, but then whistled for the stick infraction. Gives Elk River an opportunity to try and force it ahead, which they do. And there they go. They run the majority of their offense out up top to try and draw defense away. They're happy to play a 2-player game down low and just run some different pieces and some different formations to confuse this defense. And again, I don't want to sound too much like a broken record, but
it's hard not to.
It has been quite impressive the way that they have done things. This one ends up in the net, but it'll be waved off, called a kick.
We'll see it again.
Just kind of bounced in off a leg. Oh, that is a good goal.
Yep.
Morgan Peterson getting credit, her third. And I assume it would be Peterson who will get credit, but the pass didn't click, and then it went off of, it wasn't really kicked, but it went off her leg last and then squirted past Marnholz. Makes it 15-1. And we will have running time for this entire second half.
Yes, we will. We'll do this one. Oh, no, I guess not.
Good speed all the way to that end for Katie Wozni. And they don't expect the Elks to get tired of scoring. Again, they have put up 20 and 21 goals in a couple of their more recent contests. So you got at least 5 or 6 before they start getting tired of scoring. But I would not, if I'm wearing a white jersey, I would not expect them to stop at all. This one bounced into the top corner by Addie Sukup. That is her first. She's got like 3 assists, but her first goal. So that's the 11th goal scorer.
That's pretty amazing. 11 goal scorers when you've scored 16 goals. It's that's impressive. Such depth.
And again, Sukup has been the setup player early on. 3 assists. Now she gets on the scoreboard herself. High bounce went up over the shoulder of Marnholz. Another draw win for Elk River. Bolander pressuring. Working the right side is Osterman. Oh. And another goal.
Just a beautiful feed again. They make it look so easy.
Well, there you see in the middle calling for it and passing and receiving. So huge. Annika Wozni catches, turns, scores. That's number 3 on the game for Annika Wozni.
We've got 19 minutes left, and they're just 3 goals away from that 20-goal mark.
The only downside, I would think, from a coaching perspective is you don't want things to come too easy.
No.
Because you always want the girls to continue to try to improve. And a contest like this might make it a little more difficult to find those areas of, that still need improvement, because they have done everything so well.
They have.
I expect we'll see them get a little deeper into their bench than maybe they would in another, in a closer contest. Right. And certainly take out some of their leading scorers for longer rest periods.
Right, and they did that a little bit in the first half too. But you're right. You're going to see everybody play here tonight for Elk River Zimmerman.
Well, and that's another thing, that's challenging for the Coon Rapids squad. Partly it's great. They have a little bit bigger numbers this year. They were able to field a B squad for the first time in a few years. So they have a varsity, a JV, and a B squad. But in order to do that, they only have 4 girls on the bench. So there is not a lot of different pieces coming off the bench, where Elk River, it's not like Elk River has a ton more girls. They've only got a half dozen over there, but they have been very, very impressive. And again, they do a really nice job of challenging the ball in the defensive end, not allowing Coon Rapids the opportunity to set up and try and make passes. As they have been able to get that ball carrier some space in there when they're in the attacking end, and then run some different formations and get some different movement to confuse defenders. And as we've talked about, they have been able to get girls in that hole out in front over and over all alone. There's another good look to Wozni in the hole. This time she was slowed by Lila Gilliard and coughed up the ball. Gianna Isaacs was bumped from behind, and a stick infraction leads to a free position. But again, another steal by Elk River, a good run, and a big save by Marnholz on the bounce shot by Forer.
Yeah, she was pretty much untouched, untroubled going to the goal there.
Collision near midfield as Kepke is taken down by Kaylee Nelson.
Again, you're just going right inside, and she's able to save that.
And Marnholz, you know, despite having given up 17 goals, she really has made a couple of nice saves.
Oh, she has.
And she has had a great season for a first-time goaltender.
Right.
Is the goal this time by Kaylee Nelson.
Well, this was a monumental test coming in for the Cardinals, and certainly for her. And Elk River Zimmerman is showing you why they're so successful.
By the way, that's goal scorer number 12.
It's crazy. As a coach, as a head coach, you got to love that. You got to love the fact that you got 12 contributors
absolutely.
in the scoring column.
Yeah, and Nelson is a defender, and you know, again, that's another thing I think this allows them when you get that big lead, especially when you get that big lead early, you start putting some different pieces in some different places, and see, give them an opportunity to, show what they can do at the offensive end if they're typically a defender or vice versa. The defenders for the Elks have spent a lot of time standing back and watching. Because obviously you're not able to go all the way into the offensive third.
Correct.
And their offense has spent a lot of time in possession and on the attack. Sure. The shot off the side of the net for Kyla Holt. Trying to get it sorted out, get the ball to the right player. Eventually, it'll get to DeFratti. And the Cardinals will get it to Lila Gilliard running down the right wing. Cardinals an opportunity to set up on offense.
They haven't had too many of those.
No, and credit to Elk River. Again, they're not going to stand back and just let you look repeatedly. They are going to bring that defense out and extend it, challenge you, and force you to make a decision with the ball. As I talked about earlier, one of the struggles the Cardinals have on defense is being able to force those turnovers when they're in the defensive end, especially against a team as strong as Elk River. Elk River doesn't seem to have that problem on defense. They are
not tonight anyway.
They are going to start to stretch that defense almost immediately, and they mark tightly. They're going to trust their athletes to stay on their marks, and they're going to extend that defense and make you do something with the ball. Weaving in was Ella Olafson. She was bumped, and that draws the whistle. She'll get the free position at the top of the fan. straight at the top. Olafson in, will shoot low, and Marnholz able to keep it out.
Just barely, but she did.
It looked a second like it got past her.
I thought so too.
The Elk River bench was cheering. My guess is that Olafson does not have a lot of goals on the season. There you see it. It definitely bounced in.
It bounced in and came out.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I don't think she scored this season, so that would have been her first of the year. But the referee is, going to give the keeper a little leeway when you're down 18-1.
Try.
But yeah, that definitely bounced in. And you saw the support from the sideline as all the girls on the sideline started cheering. They're not going to cheer when Katsian scores because Katsian's got plenty. But, if a girl, again, who's normally probably playing most of the time on the defensive end is able to score her first of the year, they're definitely going to cheer that. But it was waved off as Marnholz was able to scoop it back out of the net. And apparently it had to be in the net for a full 3 seconds to get counted down before the slap on the net.
At least at this point.
She'll get another chance for racing in, and this time bumped off it. And she will this time be given a free position from the semicircle, so a little bit longer to try and get inside from here. And she'll pass it along to the near side. And this is Christian handing it off for a good run
beautiful
in
goal.
And a goal for Allison Ferrer.
Again, just a nice job of just moving around the defense and then getting out in front of the net.
That is goal scorer number 13.
Crazy.
19 goals from 13 different girls.
It's amazing.
And I guess that is something when you're on the sidelines, you might be talking to the girls about, okay, I want everybody in an Elk River jersey to have a goal before we get back on the bus. and that's a realistic possibility
absolutely
with
is.
the way this team is clicking.
Well, granted, the time continues to tick down, but
except you may not be able to get your goaltender. She might not be able to get one.
Yeah, but she'll be happy giving up if this is the final score, just the one goal.
Oh, absolutely. Pass out front, and again, the Elks able to slip somebody unmarked into the hole. So they got 7 girls on the sideline, 11 on the field, so that's 18. They'd have to have 18 different goal scorers.
Yeah, that may
possible.
not happen. It's totally possible.
But maybe not on most nights. With the way they've started and just controlled this contest, and the fact that they're already at 13. Yeah, their movement and their passing. You go back to those basics, passing and receiving. So
and they're
important.
So good at it.
Yeah, all up and down the line. They have done a phenomenal job of moving it around. There you see, double moves through, opens up a lane, and Flayhaven buries it. And that's her first, so that is goal scorer number 14.
It's crazy. That makes it 20-1. Again, just does a nice job and gets it top far side of the net.
Yeah, you certainly don't come to the field thinking, okay, we want to get 14 different girls a goal tonight. That is definitely
That's not one of your goals. You don't think that up.
That is not in your game plan.
Definitely
But when
not.
you come out and you get 5 goals from 5 different girls in the first 5 minutes, all of a sudden some of those things begin to change, and then you have 10 different girls on the score sheet with a goal in the first half. All of a sudden those possibilities get wide open, and again, a pass inside and a goal, and that is
20.
That is Lily Perron. So her first. That's 15 goal scorers.
We're getting close. Just 3 more. We've got a little over 5 minutes remaining.
It's, yeah.
Yeah. Really doesn't matter who's out there for Elk Rivers.
Well, and again, you go that deep on your roster, and to have a girl that I'm just looking at scoring. I don't think she's had a goal this season, which is why the sidelines erupted when she got the goal. But for her to not only get the goal, but to receive a pass in the hole, first to get herself there and get herself room, to receive the pass, make the shot, and get the goal is pretty darned impressive.
I think it's another penalty on Coon Rapids.
And Holte, who was the one that had the goal that got pulled out, gets the free position, gets the goal, her first of the year, and the 16th different goal scorer on the night.
That's just crazy. I mean, you can't even make that up. You can't even think about that going into a game, that you're going to have 16 different players score from your squad in a game.
I think they only had 13 different girls who had goals in the season before this. Although I may have not put the last couple on there. There may have been a couple more. I only copied down the top 13 because I thought that's
about as much as you'll see.
That's way deeper than I needed to go. Again, my strategy coming in, I didn't think I needed to look to their 14th and 15th deepest scorers.
Of course not.
And here we are with 16 different girls with goals. And if you look at their sideline, the 7 girls that are on the sidelines, many of them are starters.
Yep.
They're all standing on the sideline. None of them are sitting down.
They're all supporting their teammates.
They're out there. And you know what they're cheering for is they know who those last couple of girls are who have not scored tonight.
Exactly.
And they are out there looking for those girls to get their opportunity. Coon Rapids with a free position here. This is Katie Wiggin. She'll take the shot and get the goal.
A little bit, certainly needed that.
For Wiggin, her second of the season.
Cardinals looking for something to celebrate.
Well, and I talk about it so often. I love players who play with passion, and we talked about trying to get everybody a goal.
Yep.
Can't get the goaltender one, and you said, well, if she can get out of here with just the one goal, that'll be something. And here's Brianna Pluty, who has hardly been tested in the second half, has just not seen action, has been down there, could be doing her homework and studying for the finals down there. As soon as that got by her on a free position, which realistically the shooter should score on a free position.
Right. Odds are in that favor.
In huge percentage. I'm not sure what they cheered about.
I don't know what they were
there.
celebrating.
Just someone winning a 50-50 ball. getting a scoop. They're celebrating everything.
Well, there's a lot for them to celebrate tonight.
I'm liking this Elk River team.
I do
I
as
love
well.
the energy they bring, and obviously they're very impressive in just all of the basics. The passing, the catching is on point. That's what allows you to run an offense as diverse as they have. But the energy they bring and how they're celebrating every little thing in a game they're up by 20. Chance and a goal for Olafson. And they're celebrating that one pretty hard. And guess what, Howie?
That's 17.
That's number 17. We're under a minute to go.
They're having fun. Those young ladies are having fun. Unfortunately, the Cardinals are not.
Well, the Cardinals got to celebrate the goal for Wigan.
They did.
But not a lot else. But they can go back and look at this tape, and hopefully turn the sound down. They may not like to hear the hometown announcers talking so highly of the opposition.
Well, I'm sure they're talking highly of the opposition.
But I would tell you, there's reason for it.
Absolutely.
But this Elk River team really shows how a team becomes a winner. And Kennedy Bolander battling her way in to score on a low backhand in the final seconds to get her second of the game, but 23-3 the final.
Yeah, and again, just outplayed from the start to finish. And they can just take. They may not even want to look at this tape, depending on where what your thinking is. But nonetheless, they're just going to have to regroup and just shake this one off and just put it in their rearview mirrors.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was saying, just if you want to know what it takes to be a winning team.
Oh yeah,
that Elk River team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just put on the clinic on how it's done.
Agreed.
Top to bottom, they pass well, they run well, they move as a unit.
Yep.
Passing and catching, such a huge part of it. And they do the basics well.
And I like the way they support each other. Their teammates. They just it's really refreshing. I like it.
And if I didn't say so, I like both of their jerseys because they have high contrast, big numbers, easy to see from far away. So I am always impressed by that. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Elk River 23, Coon Rapids 2. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.